Hi, this is a demonstration of creation of elasticsearch cluster on CentOS 7. Let's see what are the server configurations. I'm using a virtual machine of 2.5 GB RAM and one CPU, and this is CentOS 7. So I have just spawned up a virtual machine, and this is untouched. So let's start now. So before we go any further, let's create a user. So I've created a user, and I'll be giving a password for this user. So password creation is done. Now let's add this user to the sudoers so that we have some flexibility in the admin tasks. So wheel is the default group. Okay, so we have created the user. Now let's log into the newly created user. Okay, so I have downloaded the Elasticsearch 5.5.0 RPM package. So let's start installing it. So I'll just pause the video and get back to you after the installation is done. The installation is completed. After installation, the plan is to create a 3-node cluster in which one will be a master node and 2 will be data nodes. Let's start editing the Elasticsearch YML files. So I'll just give a name for my cluster. Destiny cluster. I'll give a node name. So this I'll be treating it as a master node, so I'll give it as Destiny master, and I'll be giving the node dot master as true and node dot data as false, so that this is only a master node. Now I'll change the data and log paths. Now let's change the network host and the discovery zen ping unicast. So I don't know the network host, let me just quickly check it. Okay, then be using the unicast, so I'll put the host as the master, and two more hosts I'll have to put here for the cluster, since it's a 3 node cluster. Later I'll be updating it. So the basic elasticsearch.yml configuration is complete. So now what we'll do is we'll change some of the system parameters. The nodes in the cluster has to ping each other, so we'll have to create a passwordless login. So I'll be creating the SSH keygen. Okay, let's create it. Okay, this is done. Let's change the permissions. Okay, the permissions are changed, so the passwordless login is almost completed. Now for ease of use, I'll just change the name so that it will not be difficult for us to identify the names. Now I'll change the names to destiny_master. Now I'll be changing the host name as well. Okay, so once we reboot the system, these things will be visible. So what I have seen while testing out this cluster is CentOS doesn't allow the clusters to talk between each other if the firewall is enabled. So we'll have to disable the firewall, which I'll be doing right now. systemctl disable firewall D. Okay, and stop it. Okay, perfect. So now let's keep our fingers crossed and check for the correctness of Elasticsearch, and we'll start it right now. Okay, I see it started. Let's wait for some time and check the status. let's try once again. Okay, perfect. So our Elasticsearch is up and running, and we have done most of the configurations. Now what I'll do is I'll take this virtual machine and I'll create two identical clones of it with the same configuration and same system parameters. Later we'll just go to the two nodes which we just cloned, and we'll have to delete the data from the new nodes and change some of the parameters like host name, and we'll have to include the Zen Discovery ping unicast host names, and we'll have to change the node.master to false and node.data to true. So I'll do these things and I'll show you a brief configuration once I come back. Hi, now I have rebooted the system, and I have spawned two more virtual machines of the one which we created a couple of minutes back. So I just want to confirm that the master would be running on 157, 192.168.34.157, and I have one more called Destiny Node 1 which will be running on 155, and I have one more virtual machine which is called Destiny Node 2 which will be running on 156. So what I have done is in master and all the other nodes, I have just changed this elasticsearch YML. I have added the new two nodes, the IP address of the two nodes in all the three. And one more change which I have done is this is node 1, and the same thing I have just changed the master to false and node to true. I'll just show you here. The node is Destiny Node 1. Here the master is false and the data is true, and the same was vice versa in the master one. So here also I have added all the unicast. So there are only two changes from both, and the node 2 also has the same configuration, no need to worry. So let's start the service and see whether it's working. Okay, it started. Let's check the logs once. So the log name would be based on the cluster name. So here we can see that the new master, Destiny underscore master, is my master node, and this has been started. And what we'll do is we'll try to add the first node to this cluster, and I'll show you how it works. So this is the node 1. So here also we'll just start the service. So here as well it is started. So it has detected the master. See the Destiny underscore master, it has detected and it has added. So if we go to the Elasticsearch master tail minus f, we can see that there is one Destiny underscore node 1 which has been added here. So for cross verification, what we can do is we can take up a new window, http 192.168.34.157.200. It is working. So I'll just check the cluster H. So here we can see that the number of nodes is 2 and the number of data nodes is 1, and the cluster name is Destiny cluster. So we'll do one thing, we'll add the second node as well. So this is the Destiny node 2. I'll just start the service here as well. So I'll just hit the enter button, and I'll go to my master node where I've done a tail minus f, and you can see that it automatically adds, and we'll check the count of the cluster health from there. I'll just start it from here, and we'll quickly go to master and we'll wait here. So here I can see the node 1 over here. So when that gets started, we will be able to see the node 2. See, this has been added. The destiny node 2 has been added because we just saw that it just got added. And for verification, what we can do is we'll just run the same thing, and here we can see that the number of nodes has been changed to 3 and the number of data nodes has changed to 2. So this way we can create the Elasticsearch cluster. Thanks for watching the video.